Hi everybody, welcome back. It's Kerry and Anna again from the Active IQ marketing team with another of this year's finalists for the WorldSkills AoC fitness training competition. And we are joined this afternoon by the lovely Jenni Waddington, coming all the way from Cheshire College South and West. So good afternoon, Jenni.
Hi, afternoon. You okay?
We are very well. How are you?
Yes, really good. Thank you.
Yeah, really good. You were just saying to us earlier, it's obviously half term, so you must be busy.
Yes, trying to juggle lots of things and obviously prep for what's coming in the next few weeks as well, and looking after the children, so it's busy.
Well, firstly, massive congratulations on becoming a finalist. That is no easy feat by itself. So well done. I mean, you must be delighted.
Yes, I am actually really pleased and proud of myself for coming. So obviously lots of stages have been a different challenge, so to overcome those and to receive the email to say I was in the final absolutely blew my socks off, to be honest.
Hopefully your socks are right back on, because it's getting a bit cold out now. So, so firstly, can we get to know you a little bit? So how did you get started with the competition? You know, did you know about the competition when it first started, or how did you get involved?
Yeah, I didn't know about the competition at all. I hadn't come across it on any form of information platform, social platforms, internet, but doing my level 2 fitness trainer back in December last year, and then my level 3 personal trainer in April this year, my lecturer, Jeff Hilton, had mentioned in between the two phases that there's a competition to be able to showcase your new skills and your qualifications, and he thought that I would be able to represent the college and myself and them as a lecturing team. So I looked into it a little bit, and then the first stage then came through, and then it's just obviously snowballed from there. So yes, didn't know anything about it, but it's such a huge platform for newly qualified people, and I think it's an amazing thing for people to be able to achieve and go through and get the experience, really.
It is. We love being a part of it, and so it's all thanks to your tutor.
That's it, yeah.
Pointing you in the right direction. So that's always good. So it's great to give your tutor a little bit of a big up, isn't it? So, and you know, I'm sure you've got him to thank a lot for being at the college. Mm-hmm. So what qualifications have you done with the college?
So I've done my level 2 fitness instructor, and then that naturally led on to doing my level 3 personal training. So that's, I say, I qualified in April. I was hoping to do it the previous May, but obviously with the pandemic and the colleges closing and stuff, it just got put back. But sometimes these things are meant to be, aren't they? And you know, where I am at now, you know, these things may not have happened, or these opportunities. So I'm a firm believer in things happening for a reason. So
well done you. Sounds great.
Yeah, it's a massive achievement getting this far on its own. It's you know, like a winning streak just to be in the finals. So clearly you're really into your fitness, but can you tell us a little bit about yourself generally?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a mum of 4 children. I've got a 10-year-old, 8-year-old, 6-year-old and 4-year-old, so it's a happy place at home, busy.
So and it's half term.
Yeah, and it's half term. So it is busy. I used to be in sport quite a lot as a youngster, and then I did a sports coaching, sports history degree in my early 20s, and then I just went into retail, worked in management, became a visual merchandiser, and then I had my first son, and I was fortunate to not work, and my husband was in the RAF, so we were posted around quite a bit, and the whole time I always had the fitness in the back of my mind, and I never went back to it. And then when we had our youngest son, who's just turned 4, so he was about 6 months old, I think, I decided to pick my fitness back up. And a very good friend of mine, who I've been friends with for a long time, she wanted to train as well. So we became exercise buddies, which really helps, I think, when you've got somebody alongside you to motivate you on those days where I don't want to do it today. And they're like, no, come on, and vice versa. So we'd actually converted our garage here into a bit of a mini gym. So that was our hub. You know, 3 times a week, post-school drop-off, 9:30, we would do, you know, a 45-minute to an hour session and a cup of tea afterwards, of course.
and a slice of cake?
Sometimes not.
Got a reward.
we did that for about 2 years, which really helped get a good routine going. I lost baby weight, I've got my fitness back up. And I think the biggest challenge out of that was then maintaining after I'd hit my targets. I think that's when a lot of people become disheartened, is that, you know, not keeping that maintenance of where they've achieved the goals. And all of a sudden you can become used to how you look and how you feel. But you always have to refer back to where you were, I think, to keep you going. And, you know, we all know fitness journeys are not a straight path. They curve and they bend, and, you know, you just have to try and get back on that track as quick as you can when you come off. So I did that. And then obviously my husband actually was a personal trainer in the RAF for 12 years. So he set up a Star Bootcamp UK when he was just about to finish the military. And that's who I do a lot of my sessions with now, my personal training. And I decided, we chatted, and he said, because he has another side of the business, which he's now predominantly doing. So he was like, you know, you could run with the fitness business if you decide to do your qualification, because as soon as I got back into my own personal fitness, I realized how passionate I was, but also passionate about helping other people. Also because I'm 38, I've got 4 children. I like to feel that I'm real and I understand, you know, all the differences of life getting in the way. And yeah, I can feel like I can help people on their fitness journey. So that's when I decided to apply for the college. But going back to talking about my lecturer, Jeff, he actually taught me when I was 16, when I did a BTEC in sports science many moons ago. So it's quite a nice story, really, because 22 years later, I've come back and he's helped qualify me through the Active IQ course. And and he put me forward for it. So that's where we're at. That's where I'm at. Yeah, very busy, normal life, but also have to find balance of, you know, with the fitness side. So that's where I'm at.
There's no way you're 38 with 4 children. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you said that, Anna, because I'm sitting going, I'm sorry.
No.
You can't look that good, you know, with 4 children. Inspirational. I'm like, oh dear, what am I doing wrong? And I've only got 1 cat.
Stick with it.
Stick with it, she says. So you are a very busy lady. I mean, I love that story. That's amazing that you are obviously so passionate about the fitness, and then of course, you know, be probably one of the hardest jobs in the world, being a mom, you know, especially to 4 little ones, and then of course it all coming around again. So and I love that link with your husband as well, with the RAF. So that must be really exciting to like be working alongside each other as well and sharing that same passion, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. Well, he set the Star Bootcamp UK. We lived up in Cumbria at the time, and we actually still have a site up there. We still have an instructor up there who delivers outdoor sessions for us, and that's been set up there for about 6 years. But we relocated to Cheshire 4 years ago. I had our youngest son, and as time's gone on, my husband opened up the Cheshire Star Bootcamp UK, and then when I qualified, I've just ran with it now. So we were having 8 outdoor fitness sessions a week in the spring and summer in our peak after the lockdown at the end of March. Personal training, but also during the lockdown, we set up Time Buster Training, which was an online training platform. And I think a lot of people in the fitness industry took that on board. And we had a private Facebook page. There's a showcase of videos on there that people can go back to in their own time. So sometimes they could train live with us, or sometimes, again, they can replay it. We also did a mindful movement challenge once a month, which encouraged lots of people with low impact fitness. So we had some people on there who couldn't do the higher end fitness. So we would do things like mindful movement, which would be, you know, how far can we walk in a week as a team? You know, so we could really cover all fitness abilities. And that's gone a bit quieter now, because I think obviously a lot of people are enjoying being back outside, and the focus predominantly has been outside. So the outdoor fitness sessions, we've got 3 locations. And we also, in the summer, I set up a bit of a sideline from it we called Shooting Stars, where we encourage children's outdoor fitness in the 6-week holidays, which was to link. We wanted to keep the adults' continuity of sessions coming, and naturally when school holidays come in, those morning sessions, because we do 4 sessions at 9:30 in the morning, which again is that school drop off, go and do your workout, then you're productive, then the rest of the day you've still got, so you know, done by 10:30. So what I wanted to do was let those adults still continue to train. So what we did, we had 2 instructors one instructor would take the adult session and the other instructor would take the children's session, and it was so inspiring for us as instructors, but also as for the children, because it allowed those children who aren't the sporty children, who aren't the footballers or the netballers or the rugby players, to come and enjoy fitness in a different way. And I think a lot of us don't notice that until we become adults and we think, oh, I can go to fitness classes now, or I can go to a gym now, or I can try yoga or swimming, and different elements to what fitness is. And it was great, because the feedback we had is that the children really enjoyed it. You know, they were on the battle ropes, they were having to go on the lightweight kettlebells, you know, the agility ladders, and the fact that they were outdoors, but they were inspiring each other, parent and child, children watching the parents train and vice versa, because sometimes you don't get that. We keep it quite separate. So that was amazing. And I'm so pleased that we did that. And I think it'll be something we'll try and do every summer holidays. You know, we get 2 or 3 sessions in a week, first thing in the morning. So then their day is free to go off and do activities, you know, go to the park or whatever we tend to do with them in the summer. So yeah, so there's that element. And then I've just recently become a Cheshire West and Chester Council service youth provider. So we're doing sessions with teenagers, which is team building and things like that. But we also deal with the SENS and special education needs and disability young adults, which is really rewarding and amazing. We just take elements of the kit and we talk about technique and posture and things like that. And they absolutely love it. They've been so responsive to that. So I feel really proud that we've been able to bring that in, and we keep getting sessions through the councils all over Cheshire. So that's a nice project that's continuous as well. So yeah,
that's so inspiring. I mean, like, I think what I really like about what you're doing is that you're not just taking the standard fitness person, you're going to people that wouldn't necessarily be interested in fitness and going, you know, give this a try. And you know, and like with the children, I know when I was at school, it was more about the people that were already into netball, into football, and so they were the ones at the top of the class. But the people that weren't so good with their fitness, they weren't that bothered. But you know, you're getting them involved and you going, you know, try this out. And I just think that's so great and really, really lovely.
Thank you. It's just putting them outside their usual, you know, the comfort blanket really as well, isn't it? And one of the feedback that we had was a young girl who's 11, has never been interested in fitness. She came with her brother and sister because they were staying at their grandma's over the holidays, came along because their grandma comes to our fitness sessions all the time. And she's gone back and she's recently joined the school football team, and her grandma asked her what, you know, it was a bit of a shock. They used to call her Princess Daisy because she wasn't into anything like this. So her grandma said, you know, how come all of a sudden you've turned a corner? And she said, because I enjoyed the outdoor fitness sessions so much and being around children that were active. And so it's inspiring them being with like-minded people as well, you know. And yes, you might get the footballer or you might get, you know, the tennis player to come, but they're all in a different environment, you know, in the grass, out in the elements, train in the rain. That's one of the things we say, you know, if it's raining, we're training. This is my first winter outside this year, so I might regret that.
Have you got that on a hoodie somewhere?
Hashtags.
Yeah. I mean, and Anna's completely right. I mean, I'm in complete awe of everything. I'm just sitting here going, you could have possibly done all this and have 4 children and study, and it's
and look so young.
I mean, you must be absolute. I mean, I think it's absolutely wonderful, fantastic. So, I mean, the important thing here is, of course, can you give us a shout out to obviously your business? You know, what's the name? Where can people find you? Where can people hear about more of the amazing stuff that you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's Star Bootcamp UK, and we're on social media platforms. We've got a really established Facebook page. And what we do on there as well, and Instagram, is that we always showcase photographs of our groups because we're very welcoming. We've got brilliant communities, all ages, all body types, all fitness levels, because we always cater the sessions for all abilities, you know, progression and regression in each exercise, etc. And I always welcome people, especially in my sessions, and we've tried to do that with other instructors as well, is we welcome people with open arms, because that first session that you go to, it is nerve-wracking, and a lot of people message and say, I'm not very fit. And it's like, that's what we're here for. We're the professionals. We're going to help you on your journey. And we've built a really nice community to the point where we're having our first Christmas party this year, because we've got so many people who interlink across the sessions and get on really, really well. So that's been great, because everybody can let the hair down and not have to have the sports gear on. A little bit of glam. So, yeah, so we're on.
You won't recognise people.
I know, that's it. It's when you see the profile picture on Facebook and send you come to the sessions sometime. But so we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, real pictures, real testimonials on there. If you're ever unsure, just have a little look, or send us a message. We like to hit that relationship, get it off the ground straight away. We predominantly have had females, but we've got a lot of males coming through now as well. I don't know whether that's that females have been a little bit more confident to try something new, or they come with a buddy. So we're getting a lot more males coming through now, which is amazing to see as well. And it brings a different dynamic to the sessions as well. So yeah, and we've got obviously a website as well. So, and we're driving around in a Star Boot Camp van, which often gets noticed as well with the kit in. So we are Cheshire based. But what's not to say in the future, we've still got Cumbria, so whether we extend again. But this year for me, it's been about just building like a pyramid system, building the community, getting people, retaining people, which is really important, because obviously, as we know, fitness can be a little bit sporadic, can't it? And we like to make our sessions different each time. We may do a similar system, but we will always bring different exercises, and we have fun elements, and we do really laugh through a lot of the sessions, which is so important, isn't it, sometimes, because people are put out the comfort zones. Yeah. So you can find us, Star Boot Camp UK, we're out there.
It sounds like you've got a very strong business plan and a very successful business already, really impressive, and you've got a plan for the year. So I mean, with that, have you got any, like, see yourself anywhere in the future? Have you got a dream goal for the business or for yourself?
I think for me, I'm very much about the people. So I want to make sure that the clients are happy. Are we delivering the right service? It's word of mouth then as well, isn't it? We've got quite a lot of people who then bring someone, or they bring a family member, and then luckily they get hooked as well. And I think definitely for January, there's going to be a big boom, isn't there? I think a lot of people have died down a little bit now. So I'm preparing us for that, make sure that because I've got another instructor on board down here, to make sure that we're both prepared for that and possibly open up more sessions. So I think it's just a case of keep building. It's only been since the end of March, which has not been a long time at all, really, when I kind of come up for air and I go, right, let's just oversee. Because every 6 months, I do this in my personal life as well, is that every 6 months I just stop and I think, right, what have I achieved the last 6 months? What have we done as a family? What have we done, in lots of areas? And I think it's really important to reflect. So I like to kind of think, right, what are we going to do in the next 6 months to a year? And I just like it to keep continuing, but I don't want it to go too big too soon, because I want it to still have that closeness to the clients, making sure that your numbers in your classes aren't too big, because you're, as an instructor, you can't lose that focus and making sure technique's correct, and everybody's individual journey. I know the people I instruct, I know which person now can step up on their weights, or we can increase the time they're working out for. And I just think, yes, increase your class options, but not how many people are in your classes. Yeah. So it's just making sure that we're keeping that. It's really, really important to me, that trying to think of the word, that close contact with your clients. I think it's priority, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a very good business plan. You've got new followers here, so we'll be following you. And keep keeping an eye. And
it was a like.
That's it. Yeah, we'll like and share some of your posts. No problem at all. So no, it's fantastic stuff. So can you tell us how, because obviously going back early in the year, which sounds a long time ago now, when you got started with the boot camps and everything else with the fitness training competition. So what about the heats itself? What did you do back then? What are you doing at the moment to prepare for the finals, which is scarily about 2 weeks away now? Yeah. So can you give a little bit of an update of what you've been up to in that bit? Because I really don't know how you found the time, to be fair. What's going on?
I think so. The first round was to produce a 2-minute video to showcase what have you been doing since you got your qualification from Active IQ. And luckily my husband, he's got his own podcast, so he's quite good technically with recordings and things like that. So it was great to have him to help me out. So when we received the task, it wasn't too much of a time frame to achieve it. So I spoke to quite a few people in my outdoor sessions. Do you feel comfortable with us doing some footage? However, it predominantly on me rather than on them. And then we went into a gym environment with a PT client and pulled it together. And it was about talking about Star Bootcamp UK, what we deliver, how we deliver it, what we're about. So that was actually really nice when we pulled the video together for me to see, because when you're an instructor as well, you don't get to see you performing in front of your clients, you know, and it was nice to see footage of me, you know, with music on in the background, so it wasn't me talking, to see what it was like. So we had to do that, and we also had a 30-minute test online to do. So that was round one. Of course, it put the pressure back on, lots of revision again, which I hadn't done since I'd done my qualification. So managing time was really important. So that was the first heat. And then the second heat was a online PT session with the judges on with us. You could do 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 or 1-to-3. So I chose 1-to-2. Two clients that I've trained before and that they come to my outdoor fitness, so I was quite familiar with them. But we had to bring in a prop from home that anyone can use at any time. So I chose a hand towel, which was really great. And I've actually done this in my classes when I've had, you know, 10 to 12 people and we're all there with a hand towel. And it's great because it's the added resistance, you know, good for muscle building. And actually you really feel it afterwards. So the session went really well. However, it was a 30-minute time scale and I was down to about 2 stretches at the end and the conclusion, and then the judges had to stop me. So that was a massive learning curve for me. And I was a bit deflated afterwards because I like to deliver to a quite high standard. And so personally afterwards, I did feel deflated. I don't think I've got through, you know, I've done my bit. It's all been an amazing experience. But a lot of my clients, you know, my sessions who are really supportive of me during this process were saying, but in the real world, if you ran over 1 or 2 minutes, you know, it's not too much of a problem unless they're scooting off to work or whatnot, but you would have built that. So yeah, so I felt better. I spoke to my lecturers at college and they reassured me that they were really proud of me even getting to this level. And I thought, actually, give yourself a break, breathe in what you've delivered, and, you know, recently qualified, you've done your best so far. So then when the email came through that I got through to the final, so we had quite a big gap. It was right over the summer holidays, and then I think it was about the 10th of September. So it was a huge wait, but I put it to the back of my mind, you know, it's done. I've just got to wait. And then when the email comes through, I did actually cry because I was totally blown away. And I just think that, you know, when you put the hard work in and then it gets noticed. So obviously it's really building momentum at the moment. We've done quite a lot of the 8 finalists. We've done a lot of Zoom calls. We've been on with performance psychologists to plan for the day before, during the event, etc. We've been on with previous winners, which has been really good to listen to their experience. Sometimes when a curveball's been thrown in the finals, or, you know, a couple of things to think about that have made me think, actually, expect the unexpected as much as we've got the finals task. Just be quite loose within myself, don't get too tight, and nervous is natural, but keep them controlled because there may be something that's thrown in there that you're not prepared for.
They like doing that.
Yeah. Just relax into it. And one of the ladies that we spoke to who works for Go Row indoors on the masterclass, she was explaining about, you know, you're there now, enjoy it. And I think it has the momentum's building, and yes, we're doing quite a lot of preparation. You know, we've got a PT session to do, we've got a group session, fitness test, there's lots of elements, but just make sure you do your prep before. And I think just enjoy the whole process because it's all good experience, isn't it? And so yes, there's been lots of big elements to it, and each one it's been like, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing this, and, you know, projecting, and I feel really proud of myself, and it's definitely helped the confidence, believing in myself and my capabilities, really. So it's an amazing journey.
Well, to get this far, you've done a fantastic job. I mean, you know, you obviously high in what you do and professional what you do. So it, you know, is on its own, just getting through to the finals is a big win. And then the next stage is just, you know, just be yourself, you know, do what you've got to do, but, you know, it's you're there, so if you do get a medal, you know, it's a bonus.
Yeah, it's the cream on top of the cake, isn't it? And you know, from what I've met of the other competitors, which has all been online really, they all seem really nice, all got strengths in their own fields, coming from different areas as well. So it's really inspiring actually when I heard all their individual journeys. I'm sure you've interviewed them so far, and I just wish them all the best really. You know, we've all, like I say, we've all done fantastic to get to this far, and you know, may the best PT win.
This is the best thing about the competition, I think, because every single person is completely different. Your stories, your backgrounds are completely different, and this is why Anna and I love getting to know you guys, because it's like, oh my God, you know, every time we're speaking to you, it's like, how are they doing this? You know, and we get a lot of inspiration from you guys, because we just love watching you guys grow, and at the finals, you know, it really is exciting. I mean, we can never call it ever. No. We are useless, Anna and I. I am glad I'm not a judge. I'm glad that's down to Karen and her team, because we would be absolutely useless, because we're like, you know, but you are all winners. You really are. You've done so well to get here. So it's but you've got an amazing story. So
thank you.
Yeah. But so big question: are you ready? Do you feel ready? Do you feel, you know? Are you feeling like, you know, medal vibes at all?
I think, you know, the right preparation is always key, isn't it, in anything that you go into? And I feel I had a really good week before the children broke off for half term, and I prepared for the fact that this week I wouldn't be able to achieve as much in my prep because they're off, but I needed to make sure the balance was right with them wanting to spend time with mummy and daddy. But the next 2 weeks, obviously, it's busy. But yeah, I think it's one of those, we've just got to showcase what we can do. And I think your prep is really important, but I think a lot of it is in you anyway. Just believe in that, and, you know, let's just do our bit. So there's a few bits I need to work on this week. I'm going back into college, just spend a bit of time in my lecture just to freshen up on a couple of things, because I've not been in a gym environment as much. You know, we're all different in the finals, but so I just need to make sure that those areas where I'm not as 100%, it needs to be 100%. So but yeah, all good prep.
Very glad to hear. I mean, we were talking to the team from AoC the other day, and of course they always come up with a top tip. And what's the top tip, Anna?
Read the criteria.
Yeah, it's got highlights.
Highlights. Yeah, just make sure you read everything. Make sure there's no loopholes. There's anything hidden in there. Just read it and read it again.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? The tasks and the criteria, what's expected, you know, and that's been a really nice thing throughout all the stages, is to have that, because you look at it and you go, oh, I do that naturally anyway, or oh, actually I hadn't thought of doing that. And it's nice to know what you do, and it's like, oh, that is expected, but then it's nice to know, actually focus on that, don't forget that. Because we're not all perfect, are we? You know, we've got strengths and areas to work on, so that's always been a really nice tool to have. I definitely think helps your confidence.
Yeah. So of course your tutor Jeff must be obviously super proud of you, obviously getting to a finalist anyway. So is he putting any pressure on you to obviously bring a medal back to Cheshire College? No.
Well, of course. Bring the gold home.
No, the gold one.
There's also a gentleman called Gareth Edwards, who's like head of the sport at college, and him and I went to high school together, and we were at college together, taught by Jeff. And then Gareth's been very successful, and he's now actually the head of the department, and he works alongside Jeff. So I feel like I'm actually doing it for them as well, that they're like my family. And we lost contact for years, and it wasn't until I went back to college last December, and it was like we'd not been apart. And Jeff doesn't look any older. I don't know how that's worked in 22 years. But
I'm moving to Cheshire.
There's something in the water
up there.
Plenty of laughs. I think that's the key to life, isn't it? Being happy and lots of fun, laughs. But yes, I feel like I'm doing it for them as well. And yeah, try and bring home the gold.
Oh, well, we will be cheering you on, and certainly at the finals there. So she's very much looking forward to that. She'll be there with the pom-poms at the side, cheering your guys on. But I'm super excited. This competition is really hotting up. I think it's going to be very, very good. Yeah. So we wish you all the best. I don't know. Oh, God, I can't call it again, Anna. That's it. Can't call it. I'd give gold out to everybody. So there you go.
Oh. That's why you're not a judge.
I'd be the worst judge. But no, it's fantastic. So it's been absolutely wonderful talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us today. I look forward to seeing the rest of your journey at the finals. Keep Anna busy for me. You know, if you want to get like put her through her paces, PT, you're always up for it, aren't you, Anna?
Absolutely. If you can give me some top tips for your youth serum or what.
Well, I think we need to announce that we found where the Fountain of Youth is, and it's in Chelsea. It's official. You've heard it here first. But thank you so much. Good luck. Enjoy the rest of obviously the half term, and we will see you at the finals.
You will.
Best of luck.
Thanks for your time. Take care.
Take care. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.